I played it one day and I was like, it's a puin.
Yeah, and the music video is a bit unhinged.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Pao.
And I'm Simi, and this is seapopcast,
A Southeast Asian pop culture podcast.
where we talk about all things pop culture from this corner of the world.
So what are we going to talk about today?
Today we're talking about Thai music.
Ooh.
So in a previous episode, we talked about the shows that we watch from Thailand and the celebrities that we follow.
Yeah, so we did like a kind of a brief overview of all the things that we follow, because we follow a lot from like
Yes.
Thailand. As we said, it's like the most happening and the most accessible for us. And I
Yeah.
guess the one that caught our attention the most.
Yeah, it's what motivated us to want to explore the region a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In the previous episode, we just kind of briefly just mentioned a few artists because we felt like we were running out of time. There's so much to talk about.
Yes. Today we wanted to talk about them more in depth. The artists that we first started listening to, the artists that we currently listen to.
How we got into it.
Yep.
Where we are now. Because it's a very big scene.
It's huge. Huge.
We don't even cover like in our daily lives the breadth of it.
Yeah.
It's just so I have my own niche that I've carved. You have your own niche that you've carved.
Yep.
And that doesn't even like scratch the surface.
No, and there's a lot of artists that are massive
That's
that
true.
we don't even listen to very much.
Yeah.
And this is by no means like a comprehensive exploration of the music scene in Thailand. It's mostly what we know and what we enjoy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I guess first things first is how did we get into it?
Okay. So for me, my first,
Rodeo.
if you can call it
Yeah.
that, is an artist called Phum Viphurit, who sings entirely in English as far as I know. And
He's more on the indie side,
he's
right?
more on the indie side. And I was so pleasantly surprised when I started listening to him in like 2017 and finding out that he's Thai. And
Again,
I'm like, ooh.
veteran.
Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, Southeast Asia. And his music is great. I've seen him live twice.
Once in London, right?
Yeah, once in London and once here at the Esplanade. And he's great. And while that didn't necessarily lead me to explore more of the Southeast Asian music scene, it definitely gave me an awareness of
Southeast Asian music.
yeah, and like how diverse the scene was, or that it was more active than I may have, believed initially. Yeah.
Understood. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, and then a few years later, as we've mentioned, Together, which we've called the BTS of BLs, happened in 2020. And obviously with that, like other shows, they had OSTs.
OSTs are a big part of Thai music, I've realized.
Huge.
I think it's because of the fact that the TV or series scene is so big.
Yeah.
And OSTs kind of it's kind of mirroring it didn't copy, but it's mirroring Korean OSTs.
But here it's a lot of the OSTs are sung by the actors themselves.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so they can act
and
sing. And possibly dance.
Well, we know because we've seen Nanon do it.
Oh yes. Which is also part of what has led us.
Yes, this is.
This.
I would say that one song is a big part of like just our journey into Thai music.
For sure.
Definitely. Especially if you've seen Bad Buddy. Oh my god.
Yes. So for me, it was like I said, Together, and Bright has like a couple of songs.
Yeah.
Bright also has a music career now.
Well, I mean, Bright is just so big now
Yeah,
that he
Bright's
has.
everywhere. If you are wondering why we talk about him in practically every episode, it's because he's everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I walk down the mall and I'm like, oh, there he is, half naked in Calvin Klein.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. That's where we're at.
Yeah. So my journey into Thai music is actually similar to yours. I got into it through OSTs. And so the first, as we mentioned in the past, my first Thai series that I remember so fondly is I Told Sunset About You.
Yep.
And it had a good companion OST by Billkin, which is one of the main actors. It's called Skyline, or in Thai, Kitkan. It's not the genre I usually listen to.
Yep.
But when it comes to TV shows that I like so much and OSTs, I usually listen to OSTs to kind of continue the magic that I loved so much about the show. So it's a way to just carry on after the show is done.
Yeah.
And you still have like so many feelings about it, and like you're still reminiscing about it. You're still stuck in their universe.
Yeah.
OSTs are a great way for me personally to kind of still have that magic.
Yeah, which works for a song like this because
it's very mellow, very dramatic. It's about longing and like wishing you could be together.
Which encompasses the I Told Sunset About You story and the feel of the show quite accurately, I guess.
Yeah, it does. So one thing that I found interesting about it is the fact that I Told Sunset About You is a story about Thai Chinese families in Phuket. And one of the motifs that they use, especially in the show, is Chinese opera and Chinese TV series and kind of like the whole magic that comes out of it. One of the characters wants to be a Chinese opera actor. He wants to be an actor, and he got inspiration from watching Chinese operas as a child. The music and the music video emulates a lot of like
the OSTs that you would hear in classical Chinese dramas. It's kind of reminiscent of that in some ways.
Agreed.
Okay, so after Together, for me, the next show with an OST that I took notice of was Bad Buddy.
Oh, same.
Which you made me watch.
Yes. That OST of Bad Buddy is also the one I kind of attached to.
Yeah.
So like those 3 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I had like a lot of Korean, and then suddenly I had 3 Thai songs from Nanon.
Same. So for me, it was Just Friend by Nanon. That was like one of them. And then there's another song called Secret.
Which is not by Nanon. It's by Katcha Nontanun.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
But that's a fun song.
Yes.
And they play it at the end of the episodes.
Yes. Yeah, so it's the outro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then another one that I personally liked was Our Song, also by Nanon. Our Song is what the intro is based on.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like they stripped it down and then they made it more instrumental. And that is the Bad Buddy intro.
Okay. And then obviously Love Score by Nanon and Sizzy, which is
classic.
It's a classic. It's an anthem.
Oh my god.
Which is the song that Om's character sings in the car.
Yes, in episode 8, I would like to say 8 or 9.
Something
I think
like
8.
that, yeah.
Oh, it was adorable. So he's waiting in the car for Plan or Nanon. He was dancing. I think it's like breaking the fourth wall kind of moment.
Yeah.
Because it's a song that Nanon sang, and they made him listen to it while waiting for Nanon.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, and the music video is it's just to give you an idea, it was
a choice.
It was a choice. It has some dance moves, which I mean you can tell that they're just there's
Nanon
also,
is a trained dancer as well.
Yeah, but you know when
okay, no, all jokes aside, okay, so
yeah.
Nanon is not a trained dancer, so props to him for even like following the choreo.
Yeah,
he pulls it off well.
It was a choice, and there's like a part in the video where he's just like leaning against the wall, and there's like a light like swing above him.
And not just that, he was basically just wearing a blazer without a shirt on, and then he was rapping.
Yeah, the concept of this music video
was.
I don't know what it was.
But for some reason, I could not stop listening to it.
Yeah, the song is catchy. I'll give it that. Yeah, that I think was like I
think Love Score is just, how do I put Love Score? Love Score is iconic.
Iconic. Yeah.
It's just iconic.
It also made me not realize, but while I don't necessarily listen to Sizzy, I wasn't necessarily aware that girl groups were a thing. I mean, yes, a thing, but maybe not as big as I had envisioned.
And Sizzy kind of like put that on the like map for you.
Yes.
Like Thai girl groups.
For sure.
Same. I was like, oh, a Thai girl group.
Yeah.
Cute. And I think I have like maybe 3 Sizzy songs in my playlist now because they're not very active because they're actresses first.
Right.
They're GMMTV actresses who, for some reason, in 2019 became a girl group.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of our, I guess, like the beginnings of how we started listening to more and more Thai music have a lot to do with the fact that it was actors that we knew that were singing the songs. So for OSTs and even in like a girl group like Sizzy,
we've seen Sizzy actresses
in shows that we've watched.
Yeah. Oh, Jan was in Cupid's Last Wish. I was in A Tale of a Thousand Stars.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I can't exactly remember how, but it is through Bad Buddy that I or at least I found out about tillybirds.
Okay, I think I know where it's from. So the song Same Page by tillybirds kind of became the Bad Buddy anthem, like unofficial anthem, because it was the song that played during the you know how like the GMM TV concept trailers?
Yes.
So it was announced in GMM TV 2021 and the concept trailer included Same Page by the tillybirds.
Okay.
So that became like the fans' unofficial anthem.
Right. Okay.
And they even alluded to it in the last episode 12.
Okay, so that's probably how I heard it.
Yeah, that's probably where we heard it because I think sang it for a bit and then he kissed Nanon.
Okay.
For me also, actually, I found tillybirds not through Bad Buddy. I only found tillybirds when I watched like Cupid's Last Wish. It's an Earth Mix show. Is a road trip. And so one of the songs that started playing during the road trip was Just Being Friendly, which is the tillybirds' like signature viral sensation. It starts with like MILLI, who's inside it. So I think that's the first non-OST song that got put into my playlist. I remember.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of tillybirds, I went to the tillybirds concert, the first concert here in Singapore.
Nice.
I went with my our friend.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That you introduced
Thai music to. So she went to Bangkok for a business trip once. Keep a lookout. That's what I said. I was like, just look around.
Yep.
And then I don't know. I think just being in Bangkok, she was like, I get it. I get what you mean. So she's more into rock.
Right.
And bands and that kind of music scene. And Thailand has a lot of that. I successfully got her to listen to that side of the Thai music scene. So tillybirds, 3 Men Down. She was one who pointed out that tillybirds was coming to Singapore. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it.
And how was that?
Great. Oh, they're so good live. Their crowd work is great. I now am a avid tillybirds listener. And just to have your idols live in front of you is just such a surreal experience.
What would you say, just out of curiosity, was the demographic at the concert? I'm just wondering.
The demographic was, I was surprised. A lot of people who seem like they listen to indie bands.
Okay, so fitting.
Yeah, but the girls I sat next to, they are fangirls like me. So I wore my school president shirt to the concert because I had nothing tillybirds related. So I was like, I'd just wear something.
Do you just wear this for every show you go to?
Yeah,
hoping that somebody will speak to you.
Yeah, obviously.
And you'll make new friends.
Yes. So I wore my chinchilla shirt. And the girl next to me was like, oh, nice. I noticed your chinchilla shirt. And I was
cute.
Like, yes, I got noticed. And then I was like, oh, did you watch? And then she mentioned, I didn't notice, but she mentioned that, I think half the people in this show have watched My School President. And I was like, okay. So I guess there's more fangirls than I thought in this crowd. But from what I saw, it just seemed like just not all fangirls. It was like an interesting mix.
Okay, yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, one of my friends from college, I noticed that that on Instagram that they listen to Thai music. And I saw them. They said that they were going to the event. So I was like, oh, I'll see you there.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, but so tillybirds, just great crowd work, such good mood lifters. Yeah.
I think their music is quite feel good.
It is very feel good.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't realize was that they speak very good English, almost fluent, I would say.
Which I guess is great if you want to do like crowd interactions.
Yeah.
When when you're not in Thailand.
Which they did, because I remember this is one part where they just kind of like ad-libbed. They were trying to get the crowd's energy higher. Yeah. So they were just like telling everyone to rock out. And then the people in the front of the crowd were like saying like "Pa leo, pa leo," and he even translated it for the English speaking crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like the Singaporeans in the front are saying "Pa leo," which means wait a minute. Yeah.
So inclusive.
Yeah. So very inclusive. And just their songs are just great. They have a good mix. Sometimes they're very edgy. Sometimes they're very like feel good.
Right.
Yeah. So they have a good like eclectic mix of the range of emotions.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And of course you've listened to Just Being Friendly.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So I've listened to tillybirds, but very I would say more selectively. I haven't really gone out of my way to discover their music more, which maybe I should after listening to your experience at their concert.
You should listen to our friend. Like, she will give you like all the recommendations that she likes.
I should. Yeah. I mean, I would love to expand my horizons.
Oh, okay. But speaking of tillybirds, I'm gonna tangent tillybirds. Just Being Friendly, being the iconic song that it is, has been covered many times. And one of the most iconic covers of it is the My School President cover. Have you seen that one?
No.
You have not?
No.
So have you seen the Just Being Friendly music video where it's like 3 couples?
Yes, I have.
So My School President did that, but with
the couples in the show.
Yeah, the couples in the show. And I think that is what got me to watch My School President. I did the same thing with My School President where I let it run like a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But then for some reason this show specifically, every week I would see like spoilers on like Instagram. I'd see clips. I'd be like, oh, I'm so intrigued.
You should find out.
Yeah. And then episode 8 they sang Just Being Friendly. And then
you watched the
And then
show?
I was like, okay, no, I have to start now.
Yeah. And your life was changed forever.
And my life was changed forever. So when it comes to like Thai music or just like the Thai scene in general, I was just starting to delve into it in 2022. And My School President, the minute I watched it.
Yeah, so for context, like music is a very big part of My School President.
That is fair, yes.
In the plot.
Okay, so
yeah.
My School President, my favorite show, is about the main character Gun has hopes and dreams of just being like the next big singer in like Thailand, I guess. With his high school band, he hopes to win this thing called like the Hot Wave Music Awards or something like that. And one of the songs that they did in the show was they covered Just Being Friendly by tillybirds, which was already big at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, Just Being Friendly is the tillybirds' like main.
It's like their biggest song.
Yeah, it's their biggest song.
Yeah.
Like 260 million views, I think.
Wow.
It's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For context, it Just Being Friendly came out in 2021, so it's been like over 2 years since.
Yeah.
But they kind of resurged that wave. I'd say so. Just Being Friendly is kind of like an unofficial anthem to My School President as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also have like quite a number of songs in My School President.
Oh, yeah.
Like as part of their OST.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was into Thai stuff. My School President cemented Thai stuff for me because I think I was still at like 60% K-pop, 40% Thai music.
Yeah.
The minute My School President came out, 70% Thai music. And I think 20% of that is My School President OST. I would listen to it every day. The My School President OST just has so many feel-good songs, and it's very interesting because the lead of My School President 4th, so he said like in the My School President making that he did not know how to sing before the show, and he's just such a genuine singer.
Okay.
Like he's not the best singer, but he just has a genuineness in his voice when he sings, and I think it's just so refreshing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, the songs in this show are fun. I mean, I have not like completed My School President,
and I keep bugging you to watch.
It will happen. It will happen at some point. I'm sure. One day I'll be like, I need to watch this show, and then I'll be super into it. But I have listened to the songs and they are fun.
Yeah,
I do like them.
You've seen the first few songs?
Yeah.
And those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
They get slightly like more emotional as you progress.
As the plot goes on.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah. My School President has like this camaraderie and like just hopefulness of like high school, and the songs really reflect that. So that's what I really love. That's what I really love about My School President.
Yeah, and I guess compared to a lot of other shows that we've like just talked about and also that we've seen that usually maybe only have like a few like a couple of songs, this is a pretty
very extensive
list of songs that they have.
Yeah,
right?
so P Off is like one of the executive producers of it, and he said for this one they really wanted to make music like a core theme, a core motif of it.
Right.
So they have, I think they have, if not one song every episode, sometimes every episode there's like 2 songs that they release.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very extensive OST. So it's something you can't get bored with, I'd say.
Yeah.
Unlike Bad Buddy, which only has 3 songs. After 3 songs, you'll kind of like...
Yeah, and also I suppose it's about what the plot is, right?
Yeah.
I think if you want to have a show about where music is kind of the center, you do need to commit to having a pretty extensive list.
Very true.
Yeah.
So I'm very glad. So I think that's why the My School President OST cemented Thai music for me, because it's just so feel good, so raw sometimes. It brought about that like hopefulness of like youth. In My School President, if I had to recommend songs, I would have to say the intro song is quite catchy.
Yeah,
I really like it.
I agree. I quite like that one.
Yeah, it's called You Got My Back, and in Thai it's called Laita, which means like your shoulder. The show is about camaraderie, and that song embodies camaraderie, because it's like, I think one of the lyrics is, I don't know what the future holds, but as long as I have you, I can do anything.
Yeah,
which embodies
cute.
My School President as a show. And if I had to recommend 2 songs in the OST, it would be this one called Hook, or Pleng Rak by Gemini, so who's one of the leads. It's a very cute song about liking someone. It's very up Thai pop alley. And the second one would be this one called Rock and Star. It's a very pop rock song. It's about like the person you love being like the light in your life, and like, or the star that you watch, and you're just content being there, just watching them shine. Yeah, and so this one is sang by Fourth Natawat, who is the other lead. So it's Gemini Fourth, of course.
Yeah. If you can't tell how invested he is in the show, take my word for it. Like, he does not shut up about it.
So I would recommend those 2. And in the My School President DVD version,
there's a DVD version?
There's a DVD version, yeah. It's bigger than you think.
Okay, clearly I have to watch it now.
Yeah. They released special editions where Fourth sang his version of Hook.
Okay.
And Gemini sang his version of Rock and Star. So Fourth's version of Hook is along the same lines, where it's fun and playful, but just in like a lower octave. Because I think Gemini is a higher range than Fourth. But then what I really love Gemini's version of Rock and Star, if Fourth's version is like Brit pop rock, Gemini's version is almost like candlelight ballady or orchestral even.
Okay. It
becomes more raw.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I listened to it yesterday or today, and for the first time. There really are
so many songs in the show.
There are.
Yeah.
And I think that is why it became my favorite show. Is because, like I said, OSTs help keep the magic going for me. And when you have an extensive set list,
it's easier for you to stay connected to the show.
Yeah. So then I think it ended in February, and I still think about it.
You still talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Take my word for it. Like, he's very invested in this show. Yeah. So from My School President, I really like this cover that they did of a song from like 20 years ago by Pami.
I think it's by Pami.
Yeah. I think it's a fun cover, and the original song is great.
I don't think there's an English name for it. The Thai name is, let me read it, Yak Rong Dang Dang, which means, I think in Thai that means I want to play loudly. And I think the song is about this new love of mine is making me feel like the world feels new, and
Yeah.
I just want to like scream to the world about like, oh, I'm so excited about like my new love and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's what it's talking about.
Yeah, the original Palmy song sounds very early 2000s.
Very,
it's great.
yeah.
Like totally recommend like go check it out.
And even the cover on the show.
I think they've kind of like added like a current
Yeah.
vibe to it.
Definitely.
You know, it's like it still has the
Uplifting.
the feel of
Upbeat.
the original, but they've made it more current, I'd say. Yeah.
I love the xylophones they added in the beginning. The dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that was very fun. Yak Rong Dang Dang actually it came out in the first episode, so it's one of the earlier songs that GMM released.
Yeah.
And I think at that point I wasn't invested even in my School President yet.
Yeah.
But that and the intro song Lighter got me into wanting to start it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember this was like it came out in like mid-December, and I saw it in the office. Just like it just popped up, and I was like, oh, this sounds fun. I want to start watching this, and I'm glad I started.
Yeah. Changed your life completely.
Very much so.
So as I said, I have not finished my School President yet, but it will happen. One of my favorite Thai shows like that I have seen is Kin Porsche. Love the show, and one of the actors in the show, Jeff, has a pretty happening music career.
Oh, very happening.
Yeah. And his songs are great. Like Jeff is like a genuinely talented musician.
Amazing.
Yeah. He's really great. We wanted to go for his show and we couldn't.
Again, we said it was sold out in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Hopefully he comes again and then we can go.
Please.
In a bigger venue. Gateway Theatre is too small.
It's nice and intimate.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That is where tillybirds was. And so I have experience in Gateway Theatre. It was nice and intimate for if you want to experience the artist and they're not like ants.
Yeah.
But again, then that means only like a few hundred people can listen.
Yeah. I think like
Jeff has surpassed
for sure
100.
Definitely. I mean, as we've talked about, like we did go for the Kin Porsche show and Jeff did perform there, and this was in the Star Theatre.
The Star Theatre, which at least bigger, 5,000 people.
Great acoustics. Yeah. It's a great venue, and Jeff should come back and perform there.
And that was almost full as a venue.
Yeah, it was.
It is safe to say that almost every Kin Porsche fan is a Jeff Satur fan.
Yes.
So then I'm sure at least 3,000 people want to watch Jeff again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, so he had like, I guess, a couple of songs in the Kin Porsche OST.
He had one song.
One song?
It was one song.
It was one song? Okay. So he had one song in the Kin Porsche OST.
Yes, but he has been releasing music since 2018.
Yeah, because he also had another show called Ingredients, and there's songs for that and sung by him.
Actually, there are a lot of small BLs, I'd say. Yeah, I think most of them are BLs. Small Thai like web series.
Yeah.
The ones that are not done by like the big companies.
Yeah.
Jeff was the main singer for the OSTs. I remember watching this one called My Secret Love. He sang for the intro.
Okay.
And there's another one that I didn't really like, but I like the song of it. It's for this series called The Tuxedo.
Interesting.
So I think pre-Kin Porsche, he was kind of like the king of OSTs for like these small studios.
Yeah, he was already very active, and now he's got like...
Thanks to Kin Porsche.
Yeah, he's got like high production music videos, and he just seems to be doing really well, and his songs are great.
What are your favorite songs from?
I really like Loop.
Loop
Loop is a good one.
I think for me it's Fade. Yeah.
Fade.
I did mention it last time, yeah. I mentioned my two favorite were like Dum Dum, but I think Fade is better than
Dum Dum's a more recent one,
yeah.
right?
Dum Dum's very like it's very Joker energy. It's very like it's edgy and grungy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'd say, yeah.
Yeah.
Loop and Fade are more ballad, not ballady, pop ballad.
Yeah, Loop is pretty slow.
Yeah. Same with Fade.
Yeah. Okay, so I really like this one Jeff song from the show Ingredients.
I've never seen it. What's it called?
Okay, I don't know what it is. Okay, so it's this one.
So it's called Welani, which means this time in Thai, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's quite a nice song.
Oh, I've never heard of it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, you should. And Jeff's got like a bunch of other great songs. Like Highway is a really good one. That one's a bit more upbeat. There's another one called Hide, which is also really good. Yeah, so totally recommend Jeff.
Yes.
I feel like he's a very accessible artist. Yeah.
So because Jeff is like the hot thing right now, he gets a lot of media attention in media
He's very
coverage.
present.
He's very present. And so if you aren't into Thai like music, he would be like a good place to start because he has great songs, very relatable no matter what language you speak.
I also feel like he's quite a good middle ground for like he's not really indie, but at the same time he's not like his music is still very different from your Thai boy bands and girl groups. Yeah. So that's why, like I said, he's a very
gateway.
Yeah, he's that's it. He's a gateway to, you know, Thai music and Southeast Asian music, I would say.
That's true. Oh, he's also very accessible because he releases English versions of his tracks. Yeah. I think almost every single one of his tracks has an English version. So if you don't want to listen to the Thai version just yet, there's an English version for you. Yeah. Which is great. I remember I was walking down Haji Lane once. Yeah. Just for a coffee break, and then suddenly I was like, I took out my earpiece. I was like, is that Jeff? And this is like a place where you don't hear a lot of niche things. Haji Lane is for tourists, so then they'll play like the hot whatever at that.
Yeah, it's very like dancey music.
Yeah, so then the fact that they were playing Jeff's Kinpor song.
Yeah, it's very interesting. What's the name of the Kinpor
Why
song?
Don't You Stay? Why Don't You Stay?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I had to Instagram story it, and I had to send you. I was like, they're playing Jeff at Haji Lane.
Yeah, it's not a place where you would expect to hear him.
Exactly.
I think at the Kinpor show as well, he also did sing the song in both Thai and English.
Yeah.
Unless I've completely remembered this wrongly.
No, he did.
He did, right?
I think he sang the Thai version first.
And then he did the English version because Singapore.
And also he only had one song in the OST.
At that point, yeah.
And they wanted him to keep performing it.
Yeah. I mean, he was a hit and he was definitely one of the highlights of the show for us because he's genuinely just a great performer and
great singer.
Yeah, great singer. And on that day, like we realized that he sounds really good live as well.
Oh, so, yeah.
You know, manifesting that we'll make it to a Jeff concert at some point.
Please come back here.
Okay, and going back to Bright, so...
we always do.
We always do. So Bright also has like a pretty...
happening
music career. Like, maybe not in the same way as Jeff, because I don't know about you, but I view Jeff as like singer first, then actor.
Agreed.
Whereas Bright, I think, is very
actor
obviously first. Actor first.
Personality and actor first. And then only
singer.
Now is he getting his music career going. Recently, he left GMMTV. So I think now he has more leeway into what he wants to do next.
Yeah.
Maybe music will be a highlight.
Happening.
Yeah.
So Bright also has like a few songs that I really like. Saturday Night is one of them. There's also...
He released one recently. What's it called?
Yeah, Try.
Try.
With Matcha.
Matcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's also I Think of You, which is... Yeah, I like that one. And there's also My Ecstasy. And I find that Bright's songs tend to be a bit slow.
Are they... I would call them brooding, edgy, mysterious.
Yeah, I would say it's very reflective of like Bright's image in a way, for sure.
Yeah.
I think Try was different because I mean I don't think he has a lot of like most of his songs don't really have features. So this one was different and the feel is different. Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
And I think Matcha is also like she's a different kind of artist to like the songs that he usually sings. Yeah. So very cool. Excited to see what other music Bright makes. And we'll definitely talk about it.
Supporting Cloud9.
Yeah. We will talk about his music again for sure.
We'll talk about Bright for sure.
Talk about Bright, yeah. In OSTs, I guess the one that I currently like is the theme song from Only Friends.
Khaotung.
Yes.
It's called Let's Try.
Yes.
Or in Thai, it's called LYKN. I don't know what that means. Like come.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, basically means let's try.
Yeah.
I really like this theme song. I think out of most of the shows that I've watched, this is the one where I actually...
I love it.
Yeah.
It's very edgy, very reflective of the show.
Yes.
And it's actually very interesting because it reflects the concept trailer used a tillybirds song called I'm Not Boring, You're Just Bored. And it has the same kind of like energy of just like punk rock. It's like very it's very punk rock.
Yeah. And I think this song like encompasses that pretty well. If you have seen Only Friends, which is messy, but I love it, the song fits it. It's interesting that his character is not the
Main
singer in the show. It's actually first character. But yeah, Khaotung can sing, and I did not know
Khaotung
that.
can sing.
Yeah, I did not know that before this. So you listen to a lot of Tpop.
Understatement of the year, I
Yeah.
think. My entry into Tpop, I think like I said last time, was through just the algorithm of me just getting into OSTs. First BLs and then the BL OSTs. And then suddenly it's like YouTube just keeps pushing me a lot. But I found that through my journey, I find very interesting. So it started with Atlas, and the first song that got pushed towards like my direction was Mr. Lonely.
I like that song.
It's so yes.
It is. I like it.
So Mr. Lonely, it's basically just about like, I think just someone who has feelings for someone but is unable to express it. So then they're just lonely thinking about this person.
It's very pop.
It's very pop, but
Yeah.
I think what made me interested in Atlas and Tpop in this case was because I'm coming from K-pop, and it helped me kind of like distinguish Thai pop because they have their own sound, and it's a lot more mellow.
Right.
And this is kind of emblematic of where Thai pop is, where it's not so dance poppy.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, like, not that I listen to a lot of either one, but I do agree that I think K-pop is a bit louder.
It's definitely a lot louder.
Yeah.
And they have their formula of basing it on more energetic R&B, EDM.
Yes.
And hip-hop. While Thai pop, I mean, I'm not saying Thai pop is devoid of energetic songs.
No.
But I think if you put it on a distribution curve, Korean songs are just a lot more on the high energy spectrum, and then Thai music is still quite on the more mellow. The beats per minute is a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I said in the previous episode, these are songs you could easily put in a cafe and it fits.
Yeah.
Which
I think they do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they do that in Thailand.
So moving on from Atlas, you will be exposed to 4Eve very early on. So my Thai friend actually told me that among all the Tpop groups, maybe 4Eve at the current moment is the biggest one, and it's actually a household name.
Wow.
Yeah, so they've really made a mark from themselves from I think from the survival show that they were on.
That's very interesting because I feel like typically in, not most, but a lot of industries, like, I feel like usually the boy group will be bigger than the girl group.
That's very true. Maybe it's because from what I see, the boy group scene is just a lot more competitive, so it's harder to like, carve a name for yourself.
Fair. Yeah.
Usually, even in like K-pop, I'd say you would have like a bunch of like very popular boy groups vying for number one, but then because the girl group scene is a lot less competitive, one will emerge as like the nation's girl group, I would like to say.
Okay.
So in like when I was getting into K-pop, it was Girls' Generation, and then around 2015, Twice took that title.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing Blackpink
Is
over
that person,
yeah. And so in terms of boy groups, only recently did BTS claim that like top boy group. Usually the boy group scene, because it's so competitive, there's like 3 or 4 at least are vying for number one.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's what's happening in Thailand right now. So 4Eve claimed that like we are like the nation's girl group. The first song that I heard was this one called Exceptional. It's really cute because the music video played on the theme of 7 deadly sins.
Okay.
So there's 7 of them, and each of them focus on a deadly sin.
Interesting.
Yeah, but then they took a spin on it. So the song I think is about being exceptional as myself, and they took a spin on the concept of 7 deadly sins by, instead of saying like gluttony, it's more just like I'm eating for me. So for greed, they made it more like I'm just spending my own money, you know. Oh, it was very funny because like for Sloth, it was like, oh, I'm just spending me time, sleeping, which I think is like a cute play on it.
Yeah.
And then the song, again, very along the lines of like towards the mellow side of pop music. And then my favorite 4Eve song is this one called Life Boy. So Life Boy is kind of like 4Eve's anthem of the year for this year. So they came back in 2023 with like this slow song called Tears. And it was just like them being emotional on the beach. But then in like April or May, they came back with this one called Life Boy. And they were just like, it's just them. It's 4Eve being 4Eve.
Okay.
Just like high energy, fun, girl power kind of thing. And then the song was just about like an indecisive boy who's just like, one day you're into me, the next day you're not. So then they're just like, oh, screw you. I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's just them just having fun. It's fun. Yeah.
That's cute.
I really like Life Boy. Because, again, the algorithm feeds you so much. It started pushing like a lot more like Tpop towards like my general direction. So then I think the one that caught my attention the most this year, and actually even like my YouTube music rewind, in June and July, my top repeated song for both those months was this song called Cute List by Persis.
Okay.
Yeah, so Cute List is just about, the lyrics are basically just like, can you be a little less cute because it's like, it's too much for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Cliche, but the actual song is really cute. And I really like Persis because with a lot of like Tpop groups, it's hit or miss. So even with Atlas, even with 4Eve, some songs I like, some songs I'm like, oh, okay. It's not up my alley. But all of Persis songs, and they only have like, what, 5 so
you
far?
like all of them?
I like all of them. They're great. My favorite is this one called Catch the Night. It's just high energy. It's fun. All of these are just very like generic pop because it's like all of these play on like the concept of boy groups and girl groups. And then most recently, I've been getting into like one of Thailand's up and coming boy groups. They're called Proxy.
Okay.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard.
You've heard of them.
I'm
sure you've heard of them. And then my favorite song is like this one most recent single before their album. It's called Hurting. The reason why I like it is because, and the reason why it caught my attention, I had noticed Proxy before, but they weren't like, they were just, okay, cool. But Hurting got my attention because it was the first time I've heard an 80s power ballad being played in like the modern pop scene.
Okay.
Yeah, so then it has like electric guitar riffs and the 80s synth.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
Cool. I will go and check them out.
From what I know, the concept of girl groups and boy groups kind of died out in Thailand, and they only had a re-emergence in like 2019 with the emergence of this boy group called 9x9. In 2018, 2019, Nadao Bangkok, as we've mentioned before, it was the company that did My Ambulance, I Told Sunset About You. They did Hormones, the series. It's like Hormones is kind of like, I want to equivocate it to like the Skins of Thailand.
Yeah, they used to be on Netflix and it's not anymore. I think I started the first season, but I wasn't able to finish it. I think I got distracted, and then one day when I thought about it again, it was not on Netflix anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But so maybe like a couple people from Hormones are in 9x9 because I think Nadao Bangkok really tried to like push for this re-emergence of the concept of like boy groups and pop music.
Yeah.
And they're actually very popular. They're only project boy group, so they're only active for like a year, and they had 3 songs. Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. So then, and one of the songs was an OST they did a series called The Great Men Academy, which I recommend that show, by the way. It's really good.
It also used to be on Netflix.
Yeah, now it's gone.
You liked The Great Men Academy.
I really like The Great Men Academy. I took a chance on it because it said it was ending that week, and I was like, I might as well just watch it now. Yeah. Oh, I had COVID that week, so I had nothing to do.
Great timing.
Yeah, so I just thought might as well watch it. Ended up liking it. Found 9x9 because of it. So now, because of that, Nadao, which closed down randomly in 2022 last year. Remember when I told you about it? It just like all of a sudden,
you were like, the company that did I Told Sunset About You.
Yeah, they're just like highly successful, by the way. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, we're closing shop. Bye. Turns out that this year they just like rebranded and kind of like shifted gear. So they went from like acting and actors and artist management, and then they went full on Tpop because realized that there was this popular survival show called 789 Trainee, and then it was just always there on my YouTube, always being recommended to me. Again, algorithm. And then when I watched the finale, I was like, oh, they were featuring, or they were covering the 9x9 song, and then they actually got 9x9 to do like a reunion.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Turns out that 789 Trainee is by Sonray Entertainment, which is basically Nadao Bangkok rebranded. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really think they went full steam ahead on that, because then now they have the 12 boys who are going to debut in 789 Trainee. Oh my gosh.
Huge groups, yeah.
That's a huge group. And then there's this new group that I recently showed you. They're called MXFRUIT.
Yes. They're a girl group.
Yes, MXFRUIT. I just heard them and I was like, oh, songs are catchy. Songs are cute.
Yeah.
Like, and they're interesting because they're all mixed. Like, some are like full Thai, some are like half Thai. One of them's just, I think she's African, but they all grew up in Thailand, and I think they're just trying to represent something different. Turns out they're by Nadao too. Well, the new Nadao, which is like Tada Entertainment or Sonray Music. I forgot. It's complicated. That's when I realized, oh, Nadao was just like full steam ahead on like Tpop, trying to push like the Tpop agenda. Interesting.
Cool. They have catchy songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like the one with Pooin in it, right?
Yes, they have a music video starring Pooin.
Yes, yeah, it's called like I'm Here or Ninaha in Thai. Yeah,
that one's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and I just wasn't expecting it. I played it one day and I was like, "What's up, Pooin?"
Yeah, the music video is a bit unhinged.
Yeah. Oh, he wants to like chase them with a electric fly swat.
Yeah. Again, it was a choice.
Oh yeah, and then GMM TV also was like, we're getting in on this, because then they released, I think late last year, they came up with like the 20-ish boys that were supposed to appear in their new survival show called Project Alpha. And I didn't watch it, but I like kind of follow it. Oh, what caught my attention is one group did a cover of Just Being Friendly, and it was still my favorite performance, and like 3 of my favorites were in it, but sadly none of my favorites got into the final group. But doesn't mean the final group's like not bad. LYKN.
Oh yes, okay, I know one song.
Yes.
May I.
So their debut song is called May I. Yeah, it's very catchy.
I like it.
I listened to it. Yeah. So I guess that's my like Thai music as of now, as a new listener.
Yeah.
It's a lot of OSTs, a lot of My School President, a lot of Tpop girl groups and boy groups. But I don't live in a bubble. I do see what's out there and what's popular, and a lot of what's popular in Thailand are still songs by individual artists.
Yeah. So there are a lot of Thai indie artists, some of whom I listen to, which we will definitely explore more of in another episode.
That's true.
Today we've only talked about the Tpop artists that we know of and listen to. Even in that genre, there's so many artists that we have not mentioned and have yet to find out about, or maybe know of but aren't really invested in their music.
I mean, they haven't caught our attention yet.
Yeah.
That's it, really. But again, we are like a year in. Yeah. I'd say. Because I just got into it last year. You only started listening to Thai pop a bit more
very recently
because of all the OSTs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very recently.
Yeah. I haven't even like talked about like Nontanun, which is like one of the biggest Thai solo artists. There's Jao Kun and Jao Ne. Like all these names I haven't like talked about, but then these are like artists that like move the industry because they're so popular.
See, and I have not heard of them. Yeah. So, there's still so much to learn, and there's so much to explore.
But that's what this is all about.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If you have an artist that you would like for us to, listen to, talk about, we would love to hear your suggestions and your recommendations. Like, we are really open to learning, and, we always need new music to listen to anyway. Yes. So, yes, we look forward to hearing from you. Yeah,
and then I guess just like stay tuned, and maybe we'll talk about them in a future episode.
For sure.
Yeah, so I guess you can, follow our socials.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube, or follow us on Spotify.
Yeah, we are seapopcast on all of these platforms.
Yes, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can now listen to podcasts on YouTube Music, which is something recently that I just found. So listen to us there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Bye.